Ricevo tantissime richieste di lavoro, ma la maggior parte delle richieste che mi mandano ne rifiuto davvero tante.
What if I told you that one of the biggest internet stars in the world barely says a word and still makes millions laugh? Meet Khaby Lame, the silent genius who turned simple reactions into a global language. No fancy effects, no talking, just pure, relatable humor that cuts through the noise of the internet. From losing his factory job in Italy during lockdown to becoming the most followed TikToker on the planet, Khaby's journey is anything but ordinary. With his signature shrug and iconic hand gesture, he's called out overcomplicated life hacks and made the world realize something powerful: simplicity wins. But behind the viral fame, who is Khaby Lame really? How did a quiet Senegalese-Italian creator rise to global stardom? And what can his story teach us about creativity, authenticity, and success in the digital age? Stay tuned, because this is more than just a story about memes. It's the rise of a modern icon. Like and subscribe as we get started. Khaby arrived in Europe before he could speak Italian. Born Khabane Serigne Lame on March 9, 2000, in Dakar, Senegal, his family moved to Italy when he was just a year old. Settling in Chivasso, a modest town near Turin, they lived in public housing, far from opulence, but full of hope.
Khaby was the youngest of 4 children, raised in a close-knit, hard-working household where every sacrifice had a purpose. He attended local Italian schools, learning a new language, adapting to a new culture, all while keeping the quiet pride of his Senegalese roots underneath. At 14, Khaby's parents decided it was time to reconnect with their heritage and fortify his faith. He was sent back to Senegal, to a madrasa near Dakar, where he memorized the Quran and deepened his relationship with Islam. That experience shaped the stillness at the center of his expression. Back in Chivasso, those early years saw Khaby develop quiet resilience. He gravitated towards sports, football and basketball, but also found solace in video games and comedy. He idolized silent-era comedians like Charlie Chaplin, inspired by punishing expression over dialogue. Yet life was far from easy for the teenage immigrant. His family juggled work and bills. Every day was a balance between adaptation and retention, between speaking up and staying silent, often literally. By his late teens, structural reality knocked again. Khaby began working at a CNC machine factory near Turin, a stable job, but one that would soon vanish. Then came March 2020. The factory shut down under lockdown. He was laid off. And suddenly, Khaby had time and uncertainty in equal measure. It was a moment of stillness before motion. In that space, he'd capture simplicity, and silence would speak louder than words ever could. At first, Khaby posted like millions of others, experimenting without direction. Then one day, he stitched a video mocking an overly complicated life hack. No words, no music, just a look into the camera, a simple gesture, and a universal message: there's an easier way. People understood it instantly. The videos spread across borders, cultures, and languages. Khaby's expressions became a language of their own. While others relied on trends, filters, or fast edits, he relied on timing and truth. His content didn't shout, it pointed. Within months, Khaby Lame went from an unemployed factory worker to one of the fastest-growing creators on TikTok. By 2021, he had become the most followed TikToker in Italy. Shortly after, he surpassed some of the platform's biggest global stars, eventually becoming the most followed creator on TikTok worldwide. But virality was only the first step. What separated Khaby from countless internet sensations was what he did next. He didn't rush into random deals or overexpose himself. Instead, he moved with patience. He understood that attention fades, but structure lasts. Major brands began to take notice. Khaby became the face of international campaigns with companies like Hugo Boss, Binance, and Fortnite. Not because he spoke well, but because he communicated universally. His silence became his value. Brands weren't just buying reach, they were buying clarity. As his influence grew, Khaby transitioned from creator to businessman. He built a professional structure around his brand, managing partnerships, licensing, and commercial opportunities with intention. Fashion, advertising, sports collaborations, and global events followed, but always on his terms. By the mid-2020s, Khaby Lame was no longer just a content creator, he was a global brand. His face alone could carry campaigns across continents. His story became a case study in modern influence, how simplicity can outperform spectacle, and how silence can cut through noise. In August 2021, Lame appeared as a co-star for Juventus FC's announcement of Manuel Locatelli. In September 2021, he attended the Venice Film Festival as a special guest for the first screening of the French film Lost Illusions by Xavier Giannoli. In January 2022, Lame signed a multi-year partnership with Hugo Boss and was featured in the hashtag #BeYourOwnBoss campaign. In 2022, he was listed in Fortune's 40 Under 40 and Forbes 30 Under 30. In March of that year, he was awarded the Premio La Moda Veste la Pace, a recognition that the African Fashion Gate organization awards every year at the European Parliament. On June 22, 2022, Lame became TikTok's most followed creator, surpassing Charli D'Amelio with 142.1 million followers. According to Alessandro Riggio, the social media manager who signed Lame when he had only 1,000 Instagram followers, the TikToker was earning up to $750,000 per post and was on track to make $10 million by the end of 2022. Also in 2022, Lame served as a juror at the Cannes Festival alongside Rithi Pan, where he judged TikTok short films. The same year, he won in the international category at the 12th Streamy Awards. He was nominated again for the award the following year. Since 2023, Lame has served as a judge on the television show Italia's Got Talent. In August 2023, he was added as a cosmetic outfit in the 2017 video game Fortnite Battle Royale, as part of the Last Resort Battle Pass. In July 2025, he was named to the inaugural Time 100 Creators list, which recognizes 100 of the most influential digital creators from around the world. In January 2026, Rich Sparkle Holdings entered into an agreement to acquire Lame's holding company, Step Distinctive Limited, for $975 million. The transaction, settled in stock, includes provisions for the creation of an AI digital twin, utilizing Lame's biometric data for global commercial content. Today, Khaby operates at the intersection of entertainment, business, and culture. He represents a new kind of professional success, one not built on loud personalities or controversy, but on relatability and restraint. He didn't win the internet by saying more. He won it by saying exactly what was needed, without saying anything at all. Let's see how much he earns from being quiet. When people talk about Khaby Lame's net worth, they usually ask the wrong question. They ask how much he's worth, when the real story is how he built it. As his TikTok following exploded into the tens, then hundreds of millions, something rare happened. His influence scaled globally without translation. That's when the money started to move. By the early 2020s, Khaby Lame became one of the highest paid creators on TikTok, earning not from views alone, but from partnerships. Global brands weren't paying for skits, they were paying for clarity. Deals with major fashion houses, tech companies, sports brands, and international campaigns began stacking up. Industry estimates soon placed Khaby's annual earnings in the multi-million-dollar range, with reports suggesting he was earning hundreds of thousands of dollars per sponsored post at his peak. Unlike many creators, he didn't flood his page with ads. He stayed selective, and that selectiveness increased his value. Over time, those deals compounded. By the mid-2020s, most credible estimates placed Khaby Lame's net worth between $15 million and $25 million, depending on endorsement cycles, licensing agreements, and long-term brand equity. Some projections ran higher, but what mattered wasn't the headline number. It was the structure behind it. Khaby didn't just earn, he organized. He built business entities to manage his brand, his likeness, and his commercial rights. That move shifted him from influencer to owner, from short-term cash flow to long-term valuation. His image became intellectual property, licensed, protected, and scalable. And then came the bigger picture. Khaby began positioning himself beyond social media. Fashion appearances, global events, film and TV roles,
and strategic business ventures that hinted at longevity beyond TikTok. His income stopped being tied to a single platform, and that's when net worth stops fluctuating and starts stabilizing. His net worth reflects something deeper, a new kind of success where simplicity beats excess and silence becomes a premium asset. Khaby Lame didn't get rich by shouting. He got rich by understanding attention and owning it. And in a digital world where fame disappears as fast as it arrives, that might be the smartest investment of all.
When people imagine wealth, they imagine noise, massive gates, towering chandeliers, homes built to announce arrival. But Khaby Lame never arrived that way. As his career exploded and his net worth climbed into the tens of millions, many expected a dramatic lifestyle shift, a mansion designed for headlines, something loud enough to match the internet fame. Instead, Khaby chose something quieter. By the mid-2020s, Khaby transitioned into high-end private residences in Italy, widely reported to be modern luxury villas or upscale homes valued between €3 million and €6 million, depending on location, land size, and security features. In Italy's real estate market, that price range places a home firmly in mansion territory. Large plots, contemporary architecture, and total privacy. Unlike influencer mansions built for content, Khaby's homes are believed to reflect minimalist, modern design. Clean lines, open interiors, natural light, and calm spaces. No gold decor, no social media showrooms, no rooms designed purely for flexing. These properties prioritize comfort over spectacle, with features typical of homes in this price range: private gardens, gated access, advanced security systems, and expansive living areas designed for real life, not viral moments. In other words, they're expensive, but not performative. One thing Khaby never sells is access. He doesn't do house tours. He doesn't post floor plans. He doesn't invite the internet inside. That privacy alone adds value. High-profile luxury homes for global figures often include custom security layouts and restricted visibility, quietly pushing their worth higher. In many cases, discretion itself becomes a six-figure upgrade. For Khaby, the mansion isn't about proving success. It's about surviving it. Khaby Lame's mansions aren't trophies. They're boundaries. So when people ask about Khaby Lame's mansions, they're really asking about the reward behind the work. Before fame, cars were simply functional. Getting from one place to another mattered more than how it looked. But as Khaby's career accelerated and his life changed, his relationship with cars evolved, not into loud statements, but into carefully chosen extensions of comfort, privacy, and control. One of the earliest vehicles associated with Khaby is a modest SUV, a reminder that even after global recognition, practicality still matters to him. It reflects his grounded nature, someone who didn't forget where he started, even as the destination shifted dramatically. That practicality later gave way to refinement, with luxury SUVs entering his garage as his schedule became heavier and his need for comfort increased. As his success grew, so did the quality of his rides. Khaby has been linked to premium European SUVs valued between $45,000 and $70,000. Vehicles known not for flash, but for reliability, safety, and understated design. These cars are built for long drives, quiet interiors, and smooth movement, mirroring the calm persona that made him famous. Then there's the step into power. Khaby has also been associated with high-performance vehicles, including a sleek sports coupe valued at around $50,000, blending speed with sophistication. It's not an aggressive choice, but a precise one, controlled power rather than chaos. A reminder that beneath the calm exterior is someone who understands timing and acceleration when it matters. The most striking presence in his collection, however, comes in the form of a luxury SUV that commands attention without asking for it. A Mercedes-AMG G63, valued at approximately $150,000, stands as the boldest chapter of his garage. Boxy, powerful, unmistakable. It represents arrival, not excess, but authority. It's the kind of vehicle that doesn't need explanation, much like Khaby himself.
What's interesting about Khaby's car collection isn't how expensive it is, it's how intentional it feels. There's no hypercar obsession, no garage built for shock value. Instead, each vehicle fits a purpose. Movement, comfort, protection, presence. Just like his content, his cars don't shout, they communicate. Khaby Lame didn't collect cars to impress the internet. He collected them to support a life that suddenly became fast, demanding, and global. From everyday SUVs to six-figure luxury machines, each ride marks a chapter of growth, quietly earned, carefully maintained. Khaby Lame became famous without saying a word, but his personal life has always spoken quietly in the background. Behind the millions of followers and the global recognition is a man who learned early that not everything needs to be shared. Born in Senegal and raised in Italy, Khaby grew up balancing two worlds, his cultural roots and the reality of being an immigrant child in Europe. That experience shaped him. It taught him humility, patience, and the power of observation. Khaby was never the loudest in the room. He watched, he listened, he learned. Family has always been at the center of his life. Raised in a modest household with strong values, he learned the importance of respect, faith, and discipline long before fame arrived. Even today, he keeps his family largely out of the public eye, not because he's hiding them, but because he's protecting what matters most. When success came suddenly, it tested that foundation. Overnight, Khaby went from anonymity to being recognized everywhere. Cameras followed him. Brands chased him. The internet demanded access. But instead of opening every door, he chose boundaries. He kept his personal life simple, private, and grounded. He doesn't overshare relationships. He doesn't perform intimacy for views. He doesn't confuse attention with connection. Khaby understands that privacy is not distance, it's stability. Away from the spotlight, his life is calm. Routine matters to him. Quiet moments matter. Whether it's spending time with loved ones, focusing on work, or simply enjoying normal days away from the internet, Khaby prioritizes balance in a world that constantly pulls toward excess. Lame is a practicing Muslim. He became an Italian citizen in Chivasso after the Italian Undersecretary of the Ministry of the Interior, Carlo Sibilia, announced that he would be granted citizenship. Lame said he always felt Italian and has previously stated that he did not need a piece of paper to define himself as such. In November 2023, it was publicly announced that Lame had married Wendy Tembelile Jewel. By May 2024, his marriage with Jewel had ended. And just like that, from silent reactions to global domination, Khaby Lame proves that you don't need words to make a statement. From humble beginnings to becoming one of the most recognizable faces on the internet, Khaby didn't just follow trends, he redefined them. So, the next time you see something overcomplicated, you already know what to do. Keep it simple. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on inspiring journeys like this. And tell me in the comments, what's your favorite Khaby Lame moment? Until next time, stay smart, stay simple, and keep it real.